How do you make a motherboard review fun? Well, you can't, but you can try. I mean, I can try. Hey everyone, Mukul here. Well, there are a lot of X570S motherboards out there, and it's not a freaking surprise that MSI also has one. I know you want me to read the whole freaking name of the motherboard which is there on the title of this video, but I won't. So sue me if you can, or if you want, or if you will too. And if you're someone who thinks that the S here denotes something from Superman and shit, then nope. With the X50S motherboards, they simply removed the chipset fan, which was responsible for cooling the chipset actively. So now they are calling this new feature of removing stuff as a passively cooled chipset. Well, because creative marketing does cost money. The motherboard is packed with a lot of features and also looks gorgeous with these black and grey accents all over it. It's really nice to see them give such seamless design continuity throughout the many heatsinks on the board. And of course, at least some of you prospect buyers would be keen to know what all comes inside of the box. I really don't like wasting my energy on this part due to the fact that we humans will always have diminishing levels of energy in them. We are so boring. Well, the motherboard comes with two Wi-Fi antennas, a small and cute but heavy screwdriver that can also be used as a keyring. So if you're someone who lives a life of instant screwing, this keyring could be all that you need for screwing the screws, nothing else. And there's a nice two-way cleaning brush too, because MSI knows you have been behaving quite dirty these days. Of course, due to the rising pollution in the air. You dirty freaking mind. And obviously a bunch of other cables too to connect stuff, and some super tiny screws for the many actually 3 PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD slots on the motherboard. And there are also a bunch of stickers, but the most important are these colored label ones that can really help you recall stuff on your motherboard that your puny brain keeps forgetting. And of course a well-sized user guide too, which I can't live without when it comes to motherboards and motherships. I do really want to appreciate how well the diagrams and the written stuff has been planned in the manual though. Truly an excellent job there, no pun intended. But the most important element in the box was this pen drive, which I have lost, so I really want to apologize to MSI about this. But as soon as I noticed that it has just 16 GB of storage, I immediately found it. The board supports all the current generation processors from AMD in the market. Duh, Captain Obvious. The board also has a dedicated clear CMOS button and a flash BIOS button on the back too, as some of you might be more interested in the stuff at the back than the stuff which is there on the front. And apart from that, there are ample speedy USB-A ports on the back with one Type-C port too. And there are 6 SATA connectors for either hard drives or 2.5-inch SSDs. And then there are 3 M.2 slots, all of which support the Gen 4 PCIe speeds on them. Not that this makes a huge difference, but for those who like the number games, you have an edge here. With these 3 slots, you can at least claim that you can run the fastest drives in your PC, even if you have a slow brain yourself. All of these M.2 slots come with their own heatsink, and as I tested the topmost one for my Samsung Evo 970 Plus 1 TB storage, the temperatures were far better as compared to the job the Asus TUF X570 Gaming Plus M.2 heatsink does for the same drive on itself. Well, this might not look like a huge deal, but trust me, there are a few drives in the market which run as hot as the Samsung Evo 970 Plus, especially when they are totally naked. And it also supports Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth right out of the box. Of course, apart from this, there are a ton of other features the motherboard has, and that has been beautifully described on their website for your beautiful brain. So if you want to dwell more into this, then why not just hop on there and read it for yourself, because I am not a reader of MSI Motherboards website. Well, the pen drive came with this MSI bundled software which kept pushing Google Chrome ads right on my face, but it made a lot of stuff easier to install onto the system. So lazy bummers like me will enjoy this tiny convenience. The less we spend our energy, the better. For some reason, I wasn't able to update the BIOS of this board with this specific update, as the mFlash utility in the BIOS kept saying that the update which I am trying is not for this motherboard, even though I am pretty sure I downloaded from the correct page. I mean, some really good bad hard luck here, and as I didn't have much time to investigate this, I just had to let it go. But this was not everything I had to let go of, as the CPU light kept a steady red angry color on it, even though the system ran stable throughout the week I used it for. So if you are good with ignoring stuff, you will be happy with it. Of course, I know this might bug the hell out of a few people, so if you know why this might have happened, you can definitely share some of that wisdom here in the comments below so that the world can also know why this might happen and fix it. I'm a pretty lazy overclocker, so I just play with the voltages and clock speeds with the Ryzen Master software, and I only do that whenever I need that sweet all-core performance for rendering something specific. The motherboard claims to have a 12+2 power phase design, and in my testing I was easily able to push the Ryzen 9 3900X to 4.1 GHz all-core frequency, which constantly consumed almost 170 watt of power, and during the testing I didn't notice the MOSFET and other temperatures go crazy or something. These results do indicate that the motherboard can support a good level of overclocking on it, and even when I stress tested the GPU and CPU together, the temperature range were again the same on the motherboard. So I wouldn't personally mind keeping my Ryzen 9 3900X permanently overclocked on this motherboard. I definitely feel safe with it. Now, because I don't have a Wi-Fi 6E router, these were the tested speed results over a 1 Gbps connection when the PC was sitting right next to the router. But I guess there's no point in showing this as the router was in 6E as already mentioned, so thanks for letting me waste your time. For controlling the RGB elements in the system, I installed the Mystic Light app from the MSI Center software, and through the software I was easily able to control the lighting of the installed Antec AIO and its fans, and of course the tiny color light beads on the motherboard. And the software also recognized the XPG RAMs and gave me control over its lighting too. So yeah, good software performance for the limited set of things I tried on it. But you have to make sure to disable the LED power saving mode, otherwise the AIO lights will keep turning off, and the BIOS is filled with so much stuff that if I sit and make a study on it and make a separate video on it, then it will take me at least a few dedicated days, and I would end up making an hour-long video, and I'm pretty sure nobody got time for that. So I mainly activate the DOCP profile for the RAMs and just play with the fan editor curve. As I primarily use an Asus board, the BIOS of the MSI board definitely required me a little getting used to. Also, when I was setting the custom fan curve settings, the animation felt a little janky at times. I mean, in the beginning they were fine, but as I was near the end of setting the fan curves, the janky animation was all over the place. Well, the board sells for around 27,000 rupees in India and about $230 in the US. And to be honest, seeing a difference of about 10,000 rupees, well, that does make me sweat a bit in recommending this board currently at that price. So if you can manage to find it priced around 22 or 24,000 rupees, then I can really stand behind in recommending it for that price. Yeah, I'm standing behind motherboards now. I mean, the board is extremely feature rich, and if you are someone who knows how to make good use of all the features the board offers, or if you are someone who wants a solid overclockable motherboard, then the MSI MPG X570S Edge Max Wi-Fi is a solid choice. Damn, I finally said it. So if you end up choosing the board and if you want to support my efforts here on this video, then you can definitely buy from the affiliate links which will be in the description below and in the pinned comments too, because I guess you can't miss them if they are at two places at the same time. And I hope you liked my lame and funny attempts in this video, and you should definitely let me know if they were good or bad. I hope they were good or moderate, but not bad. You can also hop on to our Discord server for more chit chat on relevant content. So stay safe humans, and Mewbot and the long name motherboard out.